Let's move on to topic number 7. Me and Coach Duarte are partying tonight. We said we were going to have fun with this, and we definitely are. Hey, if you're new to the show, give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us a call in. Hey, Pat, man, I know you're probably watching while you're having your anniversary dinner. Pop up your cell phone, man. Give us a call. Tell us how we're doing, Matt. All right, but hey, we'll move on to topic number 7, the NFL OTA, and we're going to talk about the Patriots, but hey, feel free to talk about any NFL OTA team right now. So, Dewey, what do you got for me?
Well, listen, there's a reason why they're called OTAs. So to me, there's really nothing sexy about optional workouts. However, we would be remiss not to talk about our Julio news. Like, what's happening here? And listen, we understand at this point of the year, it's just lies and lies and more lies on top of the lies, right? But when you start thinking of a top-end receiver who's 33 years old, who's on record as saying that he wants to play with Cam, this is a golden opportunity for New England to scoop him up. We have draft capital. We have tons of room. We can back our front end this deal with signing bonuses so we can take a little off the top of the cap. But listen, I'm really excited about what we're seeing. I'm super excited that the AFC East finally isn't the joke league of the NFL. And I say that as obviously an avid Patriots fan, and we've been dominating for 20-something years. But we have, in my opinion, 3 legitimate playoff capable making teams. Obviously, Buffalo being, in my opinion, the best. Miami is coming up like a rocket. And again, I am on the side, whether you agree with me or not, I am on the side that giving Cam a second chance isn't a terrible idea. And listen, I watched every game. I was as upset as you. I was frustrated as you. I saw him one-hop slant routes when my JV sophomore quarterback can make that throw. I saw him, but when you take a look at what he's been through, when you take a look at this idea of how you feel after getting COVID, that's a real thing. And to be honest with you, listen, I'm not going to comment on how someone learns or in the manner in which someone learns, but if you've been on a Zoom class, if you've been on a Zoom meeting and you feel like that's an effective way to learn, I don't know what you're doing. Like that's brutal. So Cam has to learn our offense via Zoom. He can't be in-house. He can't work with the guys every single day. That is going to make a huge difference, in my opinion. I also have been hearing, obviously we're not allowed to see a ton of pictures, seen a little bit of video, hearing Cam's down 20 pounds. He looks lean. He looks mean. I'm really happy. It's also kind of nice that we get to kind of maybe turn the embarrassing attention away from the Pats and start looking at other teams like Green Bay, like the debacle that's going on in Green Bay right now, or the ideas of what are the New York Jets right now, right? Like what is that team? Like what is Eric Saleh going to look like as a head coach? There's a lot of cool storylines, like a lot of cool ones. But again, OTA is tough. It's like that third session of triple sessions, right? It's like, I don't know. Like it's a lot. But listen, it's storyline galore, and I love it. And I think the NFL loves it too. And I think you'd agree with me because you know why? We're talking about the NFL. And it's June 2nd. Like, we have no business talking about the NFL, but we always will because they do such a great job in giving us a taste, right, in the offseason. They throw us the draft, right? And then we have free agency. And then now we're getting into June 1st, right, which is the cutoff line where you can start bringing and trading guys with less of an impact on the cap. So, listen. Yep. Remember when we picked up Cam, it was like on a sleepy Friday. When I say we, obviously I hate that too. I'm not for the I don't work for the Patriots. But when they picked up Cam, that was a sleepy Friday afternoon. I'm predicting something like that. Don't sleep. Maybe late June, middle of a Friday, you just get something on your phone that says patch trade for Julio Jones. And I'm telling you, automatically, that makes us a top 4 team in the league, in my opinion, right away. And you can argue with me all day. That's fine. But right away, our defense is legit. It's much better than it was last year. I'm saying that with a caveat. Dante Hightower has to come back. And that's with the idea that Dante Hightower is coming back. If Dante Hightower doesn't come back, now you're losing your quarterback on the defensive side of the ball. You don't have Pat Chung. It's different. But if Dante Hightower comes back, in my opinion, that's a top 5 defense.
No, I agree. I mean, definitely a lot of hot takes in there. And I think, obviously, like you said, they're NFL OTAs. And for some people, they're not too exciting. But it's like, I think it's one of those things this year. You saw a lot of new players going to new teams or, in free agency. And so they're showing up to the OTAs because they're just trying to fit in and figure out the system and, learn their way around the facilities. So you're seeing a lot of guys that might normally not have even shown up to OTAs show up, and they're playing and they're performing right now in the OTAs, especially pretty much every new Patriot signed up this year has shown up to OTAs to put in some time, especially offensively, which I think is right. And honestly, more to your point there, why I think the team is going to be much more improved because they're all getting that time together. They're meshing together already. They're meshing with Cam Newton. And hey, I've been on this show saying, yes, I think they made all these moves to go ahead and give Cam Newton that second chance to prove that he can get it done. We're talking about a guy that's a former NFL MVP. We're talking about a guy that is maybe, 6'5", 6'6" at quarterback, 240 pounds. He is pretty much a tight end playing quarterback, okay? So I've always been saying I want to see him running the ball a little bit more, and I know this is an old Cam Newton. Maybe the body can't take it, but Cam, if you only got a couple years left, man, let's go try to win a title. Try to win it now, put the body on the line, and go do it. But it's just really one of those things where I think the Patriots have given him everything he needs right now, but I agree, Julio Jones is that last piece. If you can get Julio Jones added to this offense, it's going to unleash all those young wide receivers. And I want to bring up one in particular and one that looked amazing during OTAs and that I'm really excited about, Kendrick Bourne. I think the Kendrick Bourne signing was an absolute steal. I think this guy is going to be a stud and can be a star in the future for the Patriots for a long time. I think what will help him is if you get Julio Jones to play on the other side. Julio Jones is obviously going to draw double coverage, and it's going to put Kendrick Bourne in single coverage 9 out of 10 times, and he will just destroy that single coverage. However, if you don't get Julio Jones and you just got Aguilar playing on the opposite side, well, guess what? We're going man-to-man across the board. We're going to probably double Kendrick Bourne, or we're going to double one of your new tight ends and make them prove that they can get it done. So it's just one of those things where I think if you get Julio Jones, it opens up so much in this offense for Cam Newton, not only to be able to spread the ball around, but also for him to be able to run because, man, Julio Jones is automatically going to get double covered every single time. And it's still so amazing and so fun to watch one of the best receivers in the game beat double coverage because the guy can still get open routinely across the middle, on the out, or even deep. Man, he is still so impressive. I've tweeted out many a times that if there's a move to be had this offseason, we need to get our number one wide receiver, and it needs to either be Julio Jones or Odell Beckham Jr. And so I'd love to see the Patriots make a move for either one of those guys, and I'm completely fine with trading either J.C. Jackson or Stephon Gilmore. Obviously, you can't trade both of them. And so if one of them goes out, you still have a shutdown corner that you can rely on to put on the number one wide receiver of the other team. So I think they got to go out and make a move. But I don't know, man. Out of these OTAs, I've really been excited to see all the Patriots showing up to OTAs and really getting that time together and meshing well because I think it is going to pay dividends even when it comes to the first week in the NFL season.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think part of it too, like the irony here, and I hate to like bring back like a bad girlfriend, but it's just funny to me that our boy Tommy Brady decides to show up for OTAs now in Tampa when for like the last 3 years here in New England, he was like, I'm a family guy and I need to spend time with my family. Like, oh God, like it's like gross. Like the whole thing, it's just like, it's like, oh man, it's like, wait, it's like, you're dating a girl and she tells you she's met someone else, but then you find out she met him 8 months before. It's like, oh God, just brutal, just brutal. Like, stop it. Stop doing it to me. But yeah, I mean, listen, if Julio can come, Kendrick's going to have a bigger role, but I feel like you just push away the tight ends like they're nothing, like a typical running back would do. Like those two dudes are legit. Jonnu Smith, not a lot of people know who he is because they really only use him to block in Tennessee. This dude is an absolute animal. He is an athlete, a real athlete. And yes, I would comp him to like an Aaron Hernandez, sorry, before all the murder, but his athletic ability is comparable to that. And he's bigger. So he can run every route. Are you going to cover him with a safety? Well, he's too big. And you're going to cover him with a linebacker? Well, he's too fast. So they absolutely have options. But listen, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, if it's only going to take J.C. Jackson and maybe a third or a second round pick for Julio, make the move. I would prefer to see Stephon Gilmore go, in my own opinion, only because his number's so high, and I don't think he wants to be around anyway. But if that's what it took, c'est la vie. Let it rip, because we need to get Julio up here ASAP.
C'est la vie for number 11, Julio Jones. Let's make it happen. I'm with you, man. Send him out the door. Either one of them. I'll help them pack their bags, honestly, if it's Julio Jones coming. Because it's just one of those things where he would just make our team that much better and put us in contention to go. I mean, I think with these free agencies, it's a playoff caliber team already. But with Julio Jones, you could arguably contend for the AFC title and maybe even go to the Super Bowl. So it's just really one of those things where I think it'll put it over the top. And, hey, we wanted to talk about NFL OTAs, but, hey, viewers, guess what? We're from Boston. Your cousin from Boston. So it's like one of those things where we're probably going to talk about New England sports a lot, and we just wanted to talk about the Patriots OTAs. Sue us and move on from it.